Yeah, we've been live with 2 things on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
And the Nugget show's a bit sad right now. So, okay, I just tried to go live again, and it says we're live. Okay, no. No, yes. Okay, so we are live again. Let me send you guys the link so maybe we can retweet that.
Yeah.
So, oh, good to go.
There's like 3 of you in here on the correct one.
Seeing a waiting sign.
So some people are back and some people aren't. That's so weird because we go live like simultaneously without any problem.
Yeah, like, all the time.
Like every day.
Okay, I just resent it to you.
Sweet.
So we can tweet that out.
I was like, why is Hank sending it to us? And then I remembered. Right.
Thanks, Hank. Oh.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot more people come here. The numbers are going up. I would give it a little more. That's the weirdest thing. That's only happened once before, and it's also happened with you guys, but the bet show. It's like you guys
it's like twins in the womb. One must consume the other.
Yeah.
And we consumed the bets that time because we were bigger, but the Nuggets are bigger than us, so we got consumed.
Yep, we got eaten.
And I mean, on our end, everything looks fine, and it looks like we're still live. So thank you in the comments for letting us know, so we can figure that out. Someone's saying, "What did you do, Allie?" I didn't do anything.
I don't know what this comment means. None of the Kings players are in the playoffs either, AJ.
What? I mean,
I'm just not sure the context.
Yeah, I don't know.
Our Nuggets show is like freaking out, and our app. Okay, I'm gonna go try and figure this out with Cale. I think we're back. You guys talk hockey.
Okay. We're good at that.
I mean, we have our days.
I think there's still like dozens of people in the Nuggets chat that are Avs people, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So, best moment of this hockey game: the goals from Makar and Toews, or Gabe Landeskog trash talking the shit out of Brendan Lemieux?
All I could see when he was talking to him was, "Let's be friends." I love making friends. Friends are the best. That was all I saw. I was like, it sounds like he's just trying to make dinner plans with Brendan.
Yeah. Did Lemieux hit Makar like really late after that play, right before that faceoff happened? Is that why he was just chatting him up there?
I don't know why, to be honest.
Because like Makar like passed the puck away, and then I don't know, I didn't see who it was, but somebody came super late, which doesn't really matter. He can handle himself. So.
All I know is he thinks that Lemieux is fat and has a stupid face.
It was not the friendliest.
That's the best part of hockey.
So Landy, definitely a little snarky for sure from Landy on that one. It's fun.
So just some quick updates here from the presser.
Yep.
McKinnon, they'll decide on Monday. It's serious. It just does not sound serious.
Yeah.
If they're trying to pretend like they care about first place at all, you just can't sit McKinnon against Vegas.
For sure.
Because you can play him in that game, and then if you lose, you just sit him the rest of the week. And you're just like, whatever.
Yep.
Soderbergh had a little bit of tightness in his lower back. That's just some old man shit. So they said that he could have played. He could have played, but they had other guys that they could just as easily move in there. And to be honest with you, the difference between Carl Soderbergh and Jason Magna just is not as big as it used to be.
Yep. Pretty much.
Old guys don't Old guys don't like playing back-to-backs.
Yeah, you're that old in the NHL, and you're at the end of the season. You're like, I don't know, coach. I just don't think I can go today.
Season up.
Not feeling
Not feeling it.
Yep. So,
that's not a shot. I turned 34 this year, and I like the best part of my day today was when I woke up and I popped my back, and I was like, this is the greatest feeling I've ever felt. I'm totally pain free for like 10 minutes, and then you're back. But it was a great 10 minutes.
whew. All right. We've talked up Cale Makar a ton on this show. We've talked up
he was special. They were great tonight. That combination of them on the game-winning goal was absurd.
Yeah, that pass is disgusting.
It was funny because like the fourth line was out there, and I was thinking as they were leading up to the goal, I was like, how funny is it that this line is the line that gave up the first goal not that long ago when they were out there with the third pairing. Now that they're out there with the top pairing, they're like in the offensive zone the whole time. And then you watch and like they cycle the puck and no shots, nothing is happening. And that's when Makar is just like, just watch me work. And then Toews is like, oh, I'm vibing. And they score. And you're just like, like Pierre-Edouard Bellemare gets the freest secondary assist ever, even freer than the Burakovsky one on the first goal where it just like glances off.
Oh my god! Yeah, he's back.
I came back to report. Okay, so I think YouTube is just glitching because the Nugget stream next door. Avoid the ugly boxes over here. I'm just gonna. Oh, and those cords are ugly. Anyways, the stream next door also just kept shutting down, so it looks like YouTube is just kind of glitching. So thanks for riding along with us, everyone on YouTube. I think we should be good, but if anything else happens, write us in chat, and I'll keep an eye on to make sure nothing bad happens. But
blame YouTube is definitely the way to go.
For sure. Because their stream, they had to go live, like they went live and then it shut down, and then they got all the Avs comments. And then they went live again and it shut down, and then they had their Nuggets comments and then it went live again. And so now we're live as well. But yeah, just YouTube struggling. Thank you for everyone who's watching.
We managed it.
What is happening in the background?
Yeah, Blais is like printing something. It's
not
I
was like, my background, the ugliness?
No. Just the random slapping noises. It sounds like it sounds like laundry.
It is laundry. Good call.
It sounds like a zipper in the dryer. Nailed it.
It's really that loud, is it?
Yeah, it's noticeable for sure.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
You're making the man take his laundry out.
He's just gonna stop it. Yeah, he's just gonna stop it.
Yes. A lot of people want to talk about new hooks, so let's just touch on that.
Yeah, drew a penalty tonight. Continues to look incredibly dynamic on the power play, but the puck's just not falling for him right now. It wasn't super noticeable at 5-on-5 again, outside of the drawing the penalty, but I think he looks fine.
Dude, I have no problem. I'm a little nervous. What do you do with McKinnon? Or what do you do when McKinnon comes back? Not what do you do with McKinnon? Obviously, that answer is easy.
Yeah, how do you slot in people?
Yeah, where do you go with this? Like, how do you align them so that you're still putting Newhook in a good position with offensively tilted players who can really help out? Because right now, the middle of that lineup just doesn't look like it's like Burakovsky is producing, but Donskoy's not doing anything. Nichushkin's not really doing much of anything. I know he had the goal, but it was really Burakovsky shooting Nichushkin's stick. So I'm just kind of curious, like where we go with that lineup, because I'm in no way am I interested in taking him out. I'm just wondering, is this like what's the best way? What's the best way to utilize him when McKinnon is in the lineup?
Yeah. It sure feels like you put him in Saad's spot one way or another, whether that's Kadri on the wing and Newhook at center or Newhook on the wing. Either way, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's
do you just Jost and Nichushkin go right back together, and then their right wing is either Comfer or Donskoy? You kind of just
I think
decide.
that's what I do. But
Okay.
we saw Tyson Jost immediately not get any more luck in this hockey game, as he actually he deserved to score on a shot tonight way more than he did on that goal.
That one timer that he ripped tonight was like that thing was ticketed for the top corner. That's a great save.
Yep.
If he's playing against a left-handed goaltender, a guy that catches left,
that's a goal.
it probably goes in.
Yep.
To be honest, same thing with Kadri.
Yep.
That one great opportunity that he had. If that's a blocker, you feel like there's a decent chance that that's a goal.
Yeah, agreed.
But
snake bit. He is snake bit right now.
Well, and with Kadri, I'm like, look, dude, you just keep playing like this, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But with Burakovsky, I think Burakovsky has all the heat that Donskoy doesn't.
Yeah.
And you won't get too cute with Saad when he comes back in. You just drop him back in
for sure.
But I did love that Saad, Jost, Nichushkin, but I also loved Burakovsky next to those two guys. I think my temptation is Saad with Jost and Nichushkin because I just think that that's such a great all around. It does a little bit of everything. And Burakovsky with like Newhook and Kadri as your second unit. And then I'm sorry, I just don't like Donskoy's just kind of cold stick right now. So he kind of gets left hanging here.
So you end up with a fourth line of Comfer, Donskoy,
and Belmar.
That's a pretty good hockey team.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm just with Burakovsky, I think that the Newhook, Kadri, Burakovsky, just there's so much like game-changing potential just sitting there that I would try and run that.
Yeah, I don't have any arguments against that. I think that lineup sounds wonderful, especially when you add a Girard in with the already strong D that you're rolling behind it. But I am 29. Blais is 1 million.
Yeah.
I turned 26 in a month.
Oh goodness.
Well, and we talked about the defenseman earlier. If we're just talking about like ideal lineups, if Byram and Girard come back, you just run Toews, Makar. I would run. Well, Toews and Girard has been so good all year.
Yeah.
And then Byram Makar, I think, is just so tempting just to try and get a jump on it, right? And then Graves and Timmins is your third pairing.
That's a great third pairing too.
It's
Timmins.
It's a great third pairing with them playing like this.
Yeah.
Because earlier in the year, when we saw the downside of both of them, it's like you can't play these guys. This is atrocious. Let's be real here. Patrick Nemeth is not an Av if both of these guys play at this level
from the beginning of the season. Yeah, for sure.
There's no need for the whole Patrick Nemeth thing. They're just like, we're good. We can get away with this. But at this point, like I think that Nemeth, you have to make the tough call here.
Yep. It's
Nemeth has been outplayed by both Graves and Timmins
pretty easily, to be honest.
Yeah.
As we saw the Avs penalty kill give up another goal in this hockey game.
Kind of.
Was it?
I
I think it was technically over. I think it had expired. But
and that's one where I'm like, look, again, I thought that was mediocre goaltending from Johansson.
You can't get B short side there, man.
Yeah,
no.
Like if you just get a stop there, again, we're not even having this conversation.
Yep. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, a W is a W.
Yeah. 3-2 final.
Yep. So
it's funny because there will be people like, oh, they can't hold a lead or whatever. Like they almost blow the lead, and it's the same people who are the bottom line.
Almost blew the lead.
But it's right, and it's the same people who are like, well, all that matters is wins. When like the Avs lose a game where they outshoot a team by 25, and they're like, well, they didn't score, and that's all that matters. It's the bottom line. And you're like, okay, like, all righty. Well, bottom line is the Avs despite having a lead, a 3-1 lead going into the third, they gave up 7 shots on goal. It's not exactly like this was the Turtle or anything.
No, yeah, right. And their offense backed off. They only had 4 shots on goal in the third period, but
yeah. What is all these June birthdays up in here?
Yeah, get out of here, June people.
Let's go.
Imagine having a June birthday. Look, I did want to talk about this, not Avalanche related, but for as insane as Cale Makar is, Connor McDavid hit 100 points this season tonight.
And unreal fashion tonight.
Yeah.
Unreal.
4-point night. Just stupid, filthy, stupid.
Yeah, I saw
sexy Connor.
Somebody broke his season down. 11 games with no points. 7 games with 4 points or more.
Did you? Yeah. So his 11 games with 0 points was the third because his 1 point and 2 points was 1 and 2. Like he just crushed it. Imagine your third is 0 goals or 0 points. Excuse me. It's like it's unreal.
So good, dude.
It's insane.
He is so
it's
good.
Truly insane.
I don't know what the league is going to look like in 3 years when this next wave comes in. When the Shane Wrights and the Mitchkovs and the Bedard kids get here, dude. When those guys go, oh my gosh,
it's going to be fun. The NHL has needed, I think, someone truly as absurdly good as McDavid is now for a bit.
You know what they needed is they needed Connor McDavid with Alex Ovechkin's personality.
Yeah, true.
Like the problem is that Connor McDavid is the
hockey playing robot,
boring person ever. And he confirmed this over this last offseason when all those pictures of his custom house came out. And the entire thing was like this colorless, robotic, like it was like a monochrome house. It's all black and white. He had a basketball hoop where like if you took a jump shot, the ball was gonna hit the ceiling. Like it was such a weird house where you're just like, oh my god, this guy's so goofy and odd. And
he probably has a monolith from like 2001 Space Odyssey in the middle of it that he just like looks at.
He just like he watches that movie and he relates to Hal.
I'm sorry, I can't let you do that, goaltender.
Yeah, I'm just he's just in like getting into ESPN and TNT and getting ready to put like all these guys onto bigger platforms.
Yep.
He's going to be insane to put out there.
But
it's not going to be interesting. People are going to be like, "Oh, I want to know more about this guy," and it's like,
no, this is it. You get highlight reels, and that's the end of it.
You got it.
It even still though, like Look, Crosby and Ovechkin era has been great. They're both unbelievable players. Don't want to take anything away from them by any means.
Seriously. I mean, two of the I mean, you're talking about arguably
the greatest goal scorer ever.
Yeah, arguably the best goal scorer ever. And Crosby's the top 5 skater of all time.
Yep.
Like it was and this close to being on a team together.
Yep. But I think part of why, at least I personally am not in love with that era of hockey like I was the previous era, or like with what McDavid's doing now, is the NHL spent a lot of their careers trying to find itself. We're talking about lockouts and significant rule changes to how the way the game is getting played that have brought us into a world where the NHL has moved towards more skill. And I think that's great that we get to sit here and reap the rewards of that, watching players like McDavid do unreal things every single night. So it's dope.
Yeah. I mean, the game is in an amazing place.
Yep.
There's so much young talent. Like the last big wave, with like Getzlaf and Perry and Doughty and Kopitar and the Blackhawks. Man, like it was a great era. But this one is setting up to just be drowning in a skill level that I don't know that the last era really had.
Well, you're outside
of like the absolute.
It wasn't this deep for sure.
Like Crosby and Ovechkin, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, that was one of the biggest worries about moving into Vegas and Seattle was, does the player pool have enough depth to put a quality hockey onto the ice?
Yeah.
Or do you end up with a bunch of bums on fourth lines? And the answer to that is no. You have talent.
Yeah.
You're seeing it from basically from the start of hockey now. Like the kids are being taught differently, right? They're not being taught the old school way of hockey. There's more development in just like personal skills, not just the game itself, but like what can you do as a player? So, and then defensive obviously is like fundamentally changed a lot in the last few years. So
yeah,
no doubt.
It's making it super fun.
Chat wants to know your age, Blais.
42. Yeah, 42. I had to think about it for a second.
I had to double check.
Yeah.
I mean, Christopher makes the point that like, oh, these guys, like all that should matter is on ice skill. But when you're talking about marketing your sport, you can't market Connor McDavid. Like you could show his highlights and you can have people watch him and be like, holy crap, that guy's amazing. But you can't, it's a little bit different when you're trying to market the star. You're trying to market the player, the personality, all of that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're going to struggle with a guy like McDavid, and to be honest, like it's where you struggle with a guy like McKinnon.
Yep.
He doesn't want to talk to the media. He's pissed off all the time. You just watch him go out there on the ice, and he wants that to talk for him. Cale Makar. You try and talk to Cale Makar about him being any good at anything, and he will defer to somebody else, or he'll just be like, "I just got lucky," or what. Like you can't market that.
That's a lot of NHL players, though, right? AJ?
Yeah,
it's team first mentality.
What I'm saying is like that's the challenge. That's the challenge that they have moving on with the next wave of exposure is trying to figure out how to make boring sexy.
Oh, you
need a new Phil Kessler.
It's such a shame that Yakupov didn't live up to the pick, man. Yakupov was so fun.
Yeah, he was. He's over in Russia, right?
Yeah, he just won the Gagarin Cup.
Yeah, that's right.
With old friend Bob Hartley.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Be more fun, hockey players. That's our take.
Well, and hockey fans, when players are fun and have personality,
they get all salty about it.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, well, that's just not what hockey culture is about. And you're like, which one do you want? You know, like, do you want fun and interesting players? Do you want, you know, like, do you want to get to know these guys? Do you want to see all the fun things? Do you want to see these guys having a great time? Look how much fun baseball's been since an entire young wave has said, "Screw your unwritten rules. I'm bat flipping on flyouts." Like, look how much. Look at Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Fernando Tatis Jr.
Dude, it's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
And you get like this next wave of guys, and you know, Acuna, like all these young guys in baseball have made baseball. They somehow have made baseball fun again.
It's incredible how
let's just get some of that fun in the NHL.
All of the big four sports at times have forgotten that at the end of the day, they're really just entertainment.
Yeah.
They just everybody tunes in for fun.
Concerned because in the NHL, obviously words get you more fines than actual fists and sticks. So
only if you're an organization that demands someone be fired. All right.
I'm sure if a player came out, it would be a pretty hefty fine if they said something like that, like in a post-game presser.
Probably.
not that much, but
we have somebody that asked us on Twitter why Kaut isn't getting a look with Megna and Sherwood. And I think the answer is obviously just that when Kaut got his couple of games, nothing happened. There was nothing there. I honestly, like, it was weird to see everybody like try and bury Kiefer Sherwood tonight. Like, yeah, he blew that defensive read, but he hasn't been bad. He's done what you want to see out of him.
Well, in this team too, right? Like, you're looking at the potential talent that you have on your AHL team, right? Like, you're getting stats to see what they're going to do up here right now, and then you're going to bring up other players if they're, you know, if they make that cut. You're going to get a few games, then you're going to go back down.
You look at, look, Alex Newhook has shown up, and it's been like he's slotted right in.
Yeah.
You haven't a couple of games now. Is it 3 games now? And it hasn't been. He hasn't been lost in the shuffle. You've noticed him, and it hasn't been because you're trying so hard to see what he's up to. He's fit in.
Yeah.
You know. Now, granted, he was put on the second line and given a big role, and it was easy to see that, but he's done well with it, and that's just where you have. I mean, they gave a number of guys. Like, the only guy that really has a bone to pick right now is Shane Powers.
Yep,
that's about it. Otherwise, it's like all these guys got a handful of games, and it's not much, but you got to do something with them.
Yeah,
you got to do something. You know, Kiefer Sherwood goes out there, he has 4 hits and 3 shots on goal in 9 minutes. You go out there and you put up zeros across the board. What have you done to stand out? You know, and that's on that guy. And you know, with Kaut, like, that's we'll revisit that. I think we're in the position where we just revisit that next year.
Yeah,
pretty much. They're going to lose a number of forwards for a number of reasons. Some things are going to get cleared out. Cap is going to be a little bit tougher. They're going to lose some of these cats, and that's going to open up an avenue of opportunity. So, you know, we'll see.
We will see, I think, is a good way to put it. Avs get no help from the league tonight as Minnesota wins in overtime and Vegas kind of runs away with one against St. Louis. That's fine. The Avs continue to control their own destiny, but they're going to have to do it themselves. It sure looks like. So,
yeah, Monday's game's going to be fun.
It's kind of the way of the world.
Yep.
You know, and most of the time, I wrote in my post-game piece yesterday, I think this is a good thing because it's keeping all these teams competitive. It's all these teams are pushing each other. They could have all gotten bored. How much better is it for these 3 teams that they're pushing each other, that they're fighting with each other, you know, and they're not obsessing over it. They're all trying to get healthy and all that, but they're also cognizant of what's going on. They're being pushed by the reality that all these other teams are winning around them.
You don't fall victim to the Tampa Bay of 2 years ago where you gear it down and then get stuck in low gear.
The perfect example of this right now, the St. Louis Blues.
Yep.
They got white hot while they had something to play for. They clinched 4th. They were a mile behind,
had nothing to play for.
Have had nothing to play for, and have gone back to losing games and not being competitive in some of those games. Tonight alone, they went like 9 minutes into both the first and second periods without getting shots on goal. They just weren't that competitive in that game against Vegas. And which position would you rather be in? Sitting around knowing that you've got fourth, okay, now you're clinched and you're like good to go, you're happy and blah 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 blah. You have nothing to play for 2 weeks, or you're kind of in this like everybody around you keeps winning. You're keeping a competitive mindset, and you know, I think having Vegas moved towards the end of the schedule helped that, because they had that like carrot to look forward to. We've got one more shot against those guys. And hey, if you win out, yes, as Chad is talking about right now, yeah, they're in contention for the President's Trophy.
Yep. They can still take
it. I think they are one of 4 teams.
Yeah, I believe. Is
3
it 4
teams.
or 3?
Carolina,
Toronto
can't win it.
Yep.
Carolina.
Just Carolina, Vegas, and Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
I guess Toronto can tie with 80 points, but it would require that.
Vegas would have to lose out, and so would Carolina. Yeah.
Minnesota's not in that.
No, they only have 2 games left in their.
Okay, yeah.
They'd be short, and
so technically Toronto is still in it, but that could change. I mean, like that they could be eliminated from it if either Vegas or Carolina gets 1 more point. Toronto can't.
Yep.
If Colorado wins out, Colorado has the tiebreaker on all of them. So if Colorado wins its last 3 games, it will win President's Trophy
in any fashion. Even it doesn't matter.
Well, they have to beat. I think they have to beat Vegas in regular.
No, that's true. They can't give up the point to Vegas unless Vegas drops a game somewhere along the way.
Yeah, but if Colorado wins its last 3 games in regulation, they win the President's Trophy.
Yeah, correct. Other than the Vegas game, they could win.
It's funny because it's like they're still like everybody's been tweeting at us all week. Oh my God, they're going to get 3rd place in the division, and here we sit with 3 games to go, and they have a chance at the President's Trophy. So the fact that they could go from President's Trophy to 3rd place is just kind of just tells you that the top of the West this year is weird.
Yep. It's been
it's fun though.
Like a year.
Yeah.
I think this is more fun and more interesting than, you know, like where Toronto has been, where they've been in 1st place and there's been distance there. It's just been a matter of getting the numbers right for them to clinch that and be done with it.
As long as the Avs stay healthy too, like this is good going into the playoffs.
They're in a good spot,
right? Like
they're in a good spot, man.
Yeah,
They're getting like they're expected to have both Girard and Saad probably back by the end of next week. I think the McKinnon thing is probably fine. If it was a playoff game, I have a really hard time believing he's missing a playoff game. And then, you know, maybe like Byram has been skating back in Denver on his own. We have no update on that timeline because they've been on the road for a week and a half. But he's back in Denver skating by himself at the practice facility. Like, you don't do that unless you're getting there.
Yep.
Eagles game last night got canceled, didn't it? COVID.
Yeah,
with the COVID protocols. So that presents a problem for the Byram comeback, because the plan, I think, was get Byram to go and play a game or 2 with the Eagles, just on a conditioning stint. He plays with them, and then he comes back up and joins the Avs whenever. So Girard should be back for the postseason. Saad should be back for the postseason. I mean, the McKinnon thing just isn't, as of right now, it's just not that serious. And then really, like, they don't have any other major injury. You know, all their other injuries are long-term guys. You know, Johnson, Francouz, Logan O'Connor, Matt Calvert. Those are all long-term.
Yep.
Those are guys that we're not even talking about anymore. So, you know, we'll see.
We will see indeed.
Let's trending in the right direction. Yeah. Both in terms of winning games and in getting healthy.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this one up. Any final thoughts from either of you? It could be as related, NHL related. Hell, you can talk about whatever you want. I don't care. Talk about your CD collection.
If you haven't watched, go watch Ryan Miller talking to his parents after his career. He went up into the stands and talked to them and hugged them, and there was some tears shed. Pretty cool moment.
After the Caps Rangers game was a fiasco the other day, but it really overshadowed what an amazing moment that was for TJ Oshie.
Oh,
yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop thinking back-to-back years we got special nights like that. A little bit different with Bobby Ryan's hat trick last year, but those are the nights where you're like,
for sure, yeah.
This is special.
All the feels.
Yeah. I mean, Oscar Lindblom coming back in the postseason last year after the cancer treatments, like that's the stuff where you're just like,
everybody wins. Yeah.
How can you not be romantic about sports?
His picture from last year to this year, too.
Yeah,
Did you see that side by side?
The bald and not. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, hockey is supposed to be fun and happy, and there's awesome storylines no matter what. So, no matter what happens with the Avs in the regular season or the playoffs, try and remember that it's enjoyable to watch no matter what. So, I'm gonna go pass out. So, thank you everyone for watching, listening. However, y'all consume the podcast. Condolences, Ben. Sorry to hear about that. Hope all y'all are doing as well as you can be. We love all y'all. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us out a ton here. I can't think anymore, so thank you. And
we're out of here.
Goodbye.